Hello, chess fans. Yeah, let's try a little bit of tactics. It's the first time I'm going to try this on the chess.com tactics trainer. I guess, on my screen you won't be able to see what my actual rating is, but we're starting at a 2300 and we'll see how it goes from there. So yeah, basically the other problem I also noted with chess.com is that I can't make any arrows or coloring or anything on the tactics board, which is a little bit annoying. But I'll just try and explain as we go along. For the first show, I figured we'll focus more on actually getting the tactics right than about speed, because of course, one thing I noted is that if you get them right, you don't lose rating. So here you go, you'll see a nice empty board. So basically the thing is that, if you're not losing rating, then of course, you'll always gain as long as you keep on getting them right, because some will easier, or some you'll spot easier than others. So I'm just gonna start off here and let's see how it goes. Okay, first instinct says there's a queen hanging. Why do we not just take that thing? Or do we just take on f3 first? There's no checks, there's no nothing. So knight takes f3 looks good. Bishop takes f3, I mean. We could take the queen, but maybe we end up losing material? No, I don't think so. So let's just take the queen then. Looks like the most logical move. Go from there. Apparently that's wrong, you see. So let's retry and let's play bishop takes knight, like I thought I would have played. Rook takes, and apparently that's it. That's very boring. So let's go back just quickly. Well, I don't think I can change this. So yeah. So my first instinct of bishop takes knight was correct. I'm not quite sure. Let's just go back to the position. I just want to see why, rook takes is wrong. Rook takes queen. I mean, what's the threat here? I guess he takes with the knight. But, oh, I guess we should look at material as well, huh? Okay, but I mean, he takes, knight takes, and then what? I mean, we're still up material. We have a queen versus a rook and a knight. I guess he has an extra pawn as well. So maybe just taking the piece, of course, then he still has the problem of the rook hanging on d1 and his queen still hanging as well. So, okay, we would have just one more material. Okay, now I gotta solve this thing again, huh? Let me just do it again quickly to get to the next one. Okay, let's take the next one. Okay, so white just played here. White is threatening to queen. Yeah, that's it. We could play check here. And king goes there. We could take the pawn as well. Or are we just looking to draw this maybe? We're most likely just looking to draw. Because it does look like white has a win here. So again, let's not worry too much about, the time, getting these things quickly and getting rating. Let's just, look at the obvious of getting them right. Okay, so the king has an escape square here on e8. So we got to be careful of that. Got to be mindful of that. Because we don't want him to be able to hide. So that's the other problem. There's no stalemate ideas here. So queen d4, queen e5 looks like a logical option as well. Queen c5, again, I don't like king e8. Because then he'll have this queen d7 move to block checks as well with. Or queen d2 with his king running to the other side. So you have to be very careful of giving him, places to run to. So I think we need to keep this. So queen d4 at least forces him to move king d2, and then we go check, but then he goes king here. So we could go queen f5 after that, but then again we have the same problem, don't we? This looks tricky. Doesn't look like there's just some easy answer. Queen c5. All of the things I'm worried about is the king running to c8. That's pretty much the biggest issue here. That is the biggest issue here. Ah, wait, maybe we do have this queen f check. Queen f6 check. If king e8, then queen check down here. So we would have this queen e6, queen c8 draw check idea. Yeah, so but we have to make sure that he can't go to c8. So queen check here. We could be wrong, of course, but that looks logical. Then queen check. Oh, queen check e8. Oh, it's mate. Wow, did we just miss a mate? My bad. Yeah, we don't mind anything apparently. We just mate the guy. So of course we forgot that the pawn on f7 is, obviously protecting the queen. So there's just a simple mate. So as you okay, you can't see on the screen here, but we took. Let's see, how long did I take there? Does it tell me? Yeah, I took 2.5 minutes for that one, and I still got 1 rating point. So what you'll find with a tactics trainer is that it's more important to get them right than it is to actually, just get them fast. Obviously, if you can get them fast, you get more rating points. But if you get them right, you'll never lose points. That's one important thing about the tactics trainer. And this teaches you to actually make sure that you find the tactic. Not just try and be quick to get quicker rating. Because if you lose and you get it wrong, then you lose rating. Okay, there's a lot of king side issues here, it would appear. The bishop on c8 looks very, very sick. So we do look like we have some choppy chances here. The bishop struggles to get out. Knight e5 looks like a really nice move right away. But there is also a mate idea. So what happens if we just go rook c1? Then how does he save his bishop? Knight d6 doesn't work. Isn't that bishop just trapped on c8? It looks like it's just dead. Yeah, I think it's just dead. Rook c1 looks very logical. Bishop comes out and we just take it. I mean, it's just free, isn't it? We could take... Yeah, we have... No, can we mate? No, we can't mate. We just win a piece. Seems simple enough. Yeah, I also looked at knight e5, but you have to realize that the bishop on c8 is just trapped. So all we have to do is attack the thing. And you can't defend the piece. That's the problem. Okay, so we gained 5 rating points for that one. Apparently we only got 92%. And that's the thing also. Your percentage that you get for this depends on your time as well. So on the last one we only got 50%, but that's because we got it right. But we obviously went over the time. So here we had a target time of 27 seconds. So if you do it in less than 27 seconds, then you get, I think, the full 100% if you get it right. So, but we took 48 seconds, so, then it starts counting down and leaving yourself behind. Okay, let's do the next one. Queen h5, that looks like there's discovered ideas. Is there discovered ideas? Well, looks quite obvious. Knight takes, okay, but then you can just take with a pawn, hey. So that doesn't help us. So we don't have a discovered idea there. We do have maybe something like, no. Rook h4 looks tempting, because if queen takes, then rook check first on h6, and if king g7, then knight check. But then maybe king f6. Ooh, messy. King f6, we take back, he takes back. Can we mate this guy? Because now his king is out in the middle of the board. So rook h4 looks like an obvious choice. Is there any way we can... No, we can't trap his rook maybe or anything like that. So rook h4 does look very strong. Queen takes. Rook check. Knight f6 check. King f6. That is the problem. Therein lies the problem, sir. No, the rook could just run back. And remember, your rook is also hanging on g4, Fangbo. So you gotta be careful of that. So we do have some issues. Rook h4 looks like the obvious move here. I'm just trying to follow it up with the correct way to finish the game. Because our rook will hang in the end. Oh, I see. Because his rook is hanging on e3 as well. So check this. Rook h4. Apparently that's wrong. Okay, let's try again. Let's go back. Apparently that's not the move. Huh. I didn't like rook h3. His queen's not... Wait a minute. Is his queen trapped, maybe? Could it be that his queen will get trapped? If rook takes g6, if pawn, no, but he just takes with the queen, of course. So that doesn't help. Queen takes. So maybe we are just trying to be too aggressive here. What about something obvious like f5? How about this? Because we're looking at the discovered check. Okay, so we're looking for a discovered check. So if we play f5, then of course if the knight moves, we just have rook g8. It seems very logical. It's a bit stupid to miss that. But anyway. Can't we just take the rook now? If queen takes, we take. If he takes back, we take on g6. That looks very obvious. Rook takes. Yeah, and we just take back because we obviously just won the knight on g6. There we go. So we kind of like forgot what the first initial plan was. The first initial idea was if we could obviously move the rook with a discovered, then, you know, we could win something. So the knight was stopping us from being able to play rook g8. So we just attacked the knight because there was no immediate threats in the positions as well. So that is something. So, okay, we eventually got it right, but we did lose rating, sadly. Okay. Wow. This looks tragic. So, what's wrong with bishop takes f7, king d7? Then what? Check. So, queen check, check, king check. Okay, surely this should work. Check. Queen h3 check. Because we want to run around, you see. Now bishop check. I just want to see which check is now correct. That's all that really matters now. We could maybe even play d5 check as well. Maybe d5 check is better. No, I like bishop check. Bishop d5 check. And that's it. So after bishop d5 check, the king has to run somewhere. Queen goes to b3 check. And then if the king goes to a5, we have bishop d2 check on the square here. And once the king goes to after a6, we have bishop c4 check. And then the only move is b5, and then queen takes b5 is mate. So just so you guys know how that one went down. So obviously they just stop after you find the move bishop d5 because that's important. Okay, let's move on. This one is for white to play. So immediate thoughts is looking at the obvious of the h7 pawn hanging. But, I mean, it's just a pawn. It's not necessarily the end of the world. And we do have a slight issue with the c5 pawn. The d4 pawn looks very strong for him as well. But okay, I mean, bishop takes knight, pawn takes, bishop takes h7 looks obvious. Unless we're missing something better. I don't see it, so... Whoops, apparently we're wrong. So, okay, so let's look at this again. Can we change the move order? I mean, it doesn't do anything if we play bishop takes h7. That does nothing. That does nothing. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. We have to look at it like this. No. I was trying to trap his bishop on g4 maybe. Well, apparently bishop takes f6 is not the right move, so we have to find better. Ah, okay. Well, it's a little stupid, but the key is to note that the bishop on e5 is actually trapped right now. So f4 just wins the bishop. After h6, we just take it because a knight on f6 is still hanging. So we just win a piece. It's a little bit stupid and easy. Sometimes the puzzles are not that hard, you know what I mean? Like, you just need to actually see what is really going on in the position. Okay, what happened here just now? So, pawn takes. Black just took pawn, so black is threatening to promote. But there looks like there might be maybe a checkmate in here somewhere? Knight g3 king, and then knight d4. So knight e to g3 check, king, and then knight d4. But he can move his knight, because then his king comes out. So nope, that doesn't help. Check, king goes there. Interesting. Knight takes f2, king. Yeah, but you can't win with the knights, surely. You know what I'm saying? So you actually have to use his knights to mate him. That's going to be the trick here. That is going to be the trick here. Knight there, knight there. We cover the squares, but if he moves his knight again, then that doesn't help. So we need to cover f2. We need to be able to cover f2, it seems. Maybe it's not even a check. Ever thought of that one? What if we just play, well, we have to be careful, I guess. The pawn is going downwards. Guys, the pawn is going downward. The pawn is one move away from queening. So be careful of that. Take that in consideration. The pawn is about to queen. So the checks look logical. We might even want to be able to just draw here. If we can draw, obviously, then we're fine as well. Because right now we're losing. We're losing miserably. So a draw might be fine as well. Just trying to find the right squares for these knights. I mean, drawing is not so hard. Yeah, I also figure we should win this, yeah, because drawing is not so hard. I mean, we can just play something like knight e to g3, king goes there, and then knight to e3, and we just take the pawn. Then it's a draw. So that's easy enough. But obviously white wants to win. So the question is just how. f2 is the key square here. Oh, you know what? Maybe after knight takes... I see an idea here. Maybe after knight takes... Okay, I see what they're thinking. After knight takes f2, king goes back, then maybe just knight d3. Covering the squares, the escape squares, and threatening knight f2 check. Now, knight g3 check. Whew, this is not easy. Look, we want to win. I mean, we obviously want to win. So knight takes f2, king g8, g1, knight d3. Now he could move his knight as well, which is a bit of a nuisance. So we might not have time for this. I don't know. This is not so easy. It's not so easy. The key is just trapping the king. That is the key here. Trapping that king. 93, but I don't like that he can move his knight now after that. Check, king goes there, and then he's free. Wow, fun one. Because here, if you make any mistake, you're done. So you have to get the right sequence of moves, otherwise you're GG, and we don't want to be GG. Don't want it, my friends. Am I just being stupid now? Did we just... Yeah, okay, maybe you were right. Maybe King F1. Yeah, but King F1 is not a problem. So I think you're actually right, Fangbo. I think we can take. Oh, apparently not. So I was wrong. Because I was looking at King G1, knight check, King F1, then knight... Oh, but he goes to King E1, of course. Okay, let's go back. So it's obviously not that. So let's go check here and see. No, it's not that one. And then let's go check here and see. Okay, so knight check, king goes there. Now we can't let him run out. Aha, I see. Check out this move. Knight G5. Because now you have both threats on F3 and H3. So if the F2 knight moves, you mate. And if the other knight moves, then you go knight F3 mate. So how's that for a cool one? But you see what I mean? You have to box them in. You can't take pieces. So it's knight check, king go there, and then knight to G5. Because the knight on G5 now attacks both H3 and F3, which is both mating squares. Cool, huh? So that's a mate. Okay. Wow. That was not an easy one. One has to really look at every variation properly. So, okay. Let's move along. This one is white to play. Can we just queen? Oh, we can't queen. Yeah, we can. Come on. We can queen. Can we not? Queen, queen, pawn. There we go. Because we just skewer him. We just win the bishop. And we should be able to win this endgame. So that's a quick and easy one. So it's just to be able to see that you can skewer his king. And of course, if he... Let me just go back. If he doesn't take the pawn, then you just queen the pawn, obviously. So he has to take the pawn, and now you skewer him. Just to see that one again. Okay, so that's fairly easy. Rook e8. Feels like there should be a rook takes d3 thing here. And after bishop check, where's the king go? King has to go to c3. But then we don't have anything to follow up with. Oops. So after the king goes to c3, is there anything wackadoodles for us? I don't think so. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. You guys still with me? So here, I mean, the move rook takes d3 looks obvious, but one has to find a way to make it work then, which I'm not doing. I can't find a way to make it work after that, because king c3 just stops everything. So it's a bit of a face plant, you know, a little bit of a face plant. Oh, okay. Well, you know, maybe just rook d8. And if knight there, then we can... Yeah, okay, so rook d8. It's not too hard because we can just take now. And then bishop. There we go. So we just win the exchange. Okay, not too hard. Let me just show you guys that one again, in case you didn't get it. So the idea here is to note that the bishop and the knight are, you know, in the same file here. And, you know, protecting them is not so easy. So after we play here, he can't move the bishop. Now he has to defend the bishop, and now we can just take it, because we can just pin it, and he has no way to defend the rook again. So we just end up winning material. Okay, next. Oof, it feels like there should be lots of sacrifices. Knight takes f8 check? Oh, no. Knight f5 check. Because then the king can't escape, and then after rook takes, it's mate. Is it not? Knight f5 check? Should be easy enough, because it's mate. Nowhere to escape. So there you just have to see that if you make sure that the king can't go to g7, then it's mate on the h file. Doesn't matter if you lose your queen. Okay, let's go next. Okay, he just took here. Feels like there should be something. If we do take on b4, we have this massive threat on e7. And it's actually a mate threat as well, is it not? So after queen takes b4, how does he... He can't protect the knight, and he can't move the knight anywhere useful either. Yeah, so we just take back. And rook e7 check. Devastating. And after this, it's just mate. Oh, come on, really? Why is this wrong? Oh, we can go king c6 in this variation. I see. So we go queen, obviously. Queen takes. Okay, fine. Queen takes. And then what? Which one? Rook. Rook goes back down here. Yes, sorry. Rook to e6, and now he has to take. If he plays, we'll get back to this variation. Let me just go all the way back quickly. So the key thing is just to see that the rook on e7 is just destructive. Okay? And then you have to see that all the rooks are on white squares as well. So check here. If he plays king b5, then queen b4 is mate as well. So after this, after queen takes here, we obviously just fork the rooks as well, so we just win material. Okay, next. Okay, that looks logical, so we just take. After rook takes, king goes to a7, obviously, then maybe queen. Yeah, so after rook takes rook, king goes here, queen c5. Because if he plays queen, then we play rook a8, then he has to take and we win the queen. If he plays b6, we just play rook c7. So that seems logical enough. Really? How's that wrong? Apparently it's wrong, but I mean, you know, how? Why? What's he going to do about it? Maybe b6 is an option for him. I find it hard to believe that this is not just winning. I guess we have to watch out for mates. So maybe if b6, rook c7 check, maybe he can just move his king. But okay, maybe we can't win that. Yeah, king a8, and then what? So we have then queen c6 check, and it's mate anyway. I find it hard to believe that this is not a win. Anybody see any reason why this wouldn't be a win? I mean, I know there's a mate threat, but so what? It doesn't matter. He's not going to mate us. Maybe he goes king b8. Now that is a cutie. So after b6, rook c7, king b8, because he's still threatening mates. Okay, let's look at it again. So after rook takes, what do we play now? Oh, maybe queen d4 instead. Check. Still mate threats though. I am not convinced. I am not convinced, sir. Can we win material, maybe? Queen takes, queen, bishop takes, and then what? There's nothing there. Doesn't look like it. Any ideas? There's no funny checks. There's no funny this or that. Maybe knight. Aha, knight b5 check. Now that's a beauty with queen a5 checkmate. That's a pretty one. That's pretty. Very pretty. So it's all about just seeing that the king is trapped in there, and after the obvious check on b5, he has no way of escaping. That's a nice one. I like that one. Queen e7, quick draw says bishop check. Now if the king moves, then what? King check, king goes there. I mean, bishop b5 looks very obvious. Well, I guess you can play knight c6, huh? Maybe not. Queen c8, maybe? Because he can't move his king, because we just take the rook. But okay, our bishop is hanging as well. Check. King goes there. No, king goes there. I'm not so sure about this. Not so sure about this one. Queen c8 check. Our knights, our bishop on f1 is hanging. That's my only issue with this as well. Is that if he plays king, okay, if he plays king f7, we can just play bishop c4. Okay, so queen c8 must be the move, yeah. I have to agree that queen c8 must be the move. So after queen d8, can we play bishop b5 check now? Again, he can block with a knight, but then we take. So what now? Bishop b5 looks logical because we have to move our bishop. Okay, bishop b5. I mean, I can't see why we wouldn't play that. Okay, so after knight there, maybe just queen takes b7. Pieces are hanging everywhere. His king is still awkward. I assume. Yeah, queen. Yeah, if knight block, queen takes b7 looks logical actually, because the knight's dead. That knight is dead. There's no threats on our king. There's no, nothing that we have to worry about. So queen takes b7 looks very logical. There we go. So it is correct, yeah. So he's going to lose the piece. What's the material like at the end of this? Well, I guess his king is still really, really awkwardly placed as well. So he's going to have to lose a rook as well. Probably going to have to play rook c8, and after bishop takes, rook takes c6 as well. Then we just up a piece. Yeah, piece and a couple of pawns. Okay, move on to the next one. See what the time is like. Do this for about an hour or so. Okay, this one looks very, very... queen check. There's these beautiful discovered ideas with my knight. So queen takes c6, queen f6, queen here. Knight goes to maybe c7. No, wait, we need to look for double checks. So queen, 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 knight check. King moves. That's still mate, isn't it? So queen check. Okay, king f7. Now surely we have queen g8. Queen g8 looks logical because we have a double check with the knight. So queen g8 and then knight f6 is mate? Not quite. Not yet, but knight h7 after that is mate. There we go. That's a pretty one. So it's all about seeing that you have this beautiful diagonal with the bishop on the g8 square. So as long as you can find that idea, then you can see the rest quite easily. Let me just go back and show you what would have happened if he played if he plays queen f7 instead, queen f7 instead of king f8, then you would play knight takes e7 check. And after he moves king f8, you go queen takes f7 checkmate. Just in case anybody was wondering. Okay, so let's do that real quickly again because they need us to do it. Okay, next. Let's see. f5. Okay. Now, there is discovered attack ideas here. So knight d4 check. Guess you can take with the knight though, huh? What's wrong with just... Okay, maybe our bishop's hanging. I was just looking at what's wrong with knight takes f5, but of course the bishop on c5 is hanging. Oh no, but it doesn't matter. Takes. We can just take it. So this is just we just take the pawn on f5. Yeah, because we can take here because our bishop is defending on f5. See? So at first glance, I also thought that the bishop on, that the knight on f5 would be hanging, but we do have another protector. So that one was, not exactly the super hardest one to find. But, sometimes that's what it is all about, some stupid thing like the guy plays a move and he looks like he has this idea and then you can just take it because it doesn't work. Okay, let's see the next one. This has to do something with f2. Like I can smell it in the air, sir, in the air. Can you protect it? Play there. bishop takes f2, rook takes f2, knight g4, then queen e1 or something just to defend. But then we have this rook h8 idea. So then we just play queen takes. Okay, so yeah, knight g4 is a bit too slow. I think maybe with knight g4, okay, maybe knight g4 straight away as well. If knight g4 right away, but if knight g4 right away, then maybe queen e1. Well, it's the same thing, huh? So if knight g4, maybe we could play... I do agree that knight g4 does look like it works as well, but I suspect that bishop takes f2 immediately is just the more accurate way to play it. If knight g4, maybe he could play something like bishop h4 immediately, protecting. Because now if you sacrifice your rook, takes, it doesn't change anything. Whereas if we play bishop takes first, rook takes, knight g4, now bishop takes, bishop h4, then rook takes, knight takes, and we take immediately, yeah. So bishop takes f2 is the more accurate variation, I think. Yeah. Now knight g4, and now rook takes h4. Here we go. So knight, like I say, knight g4, I wonder if I redo this position now, if I'll lose rating if I get it wrong. Let's try. Let's see. Because I just want to show you that if you play knight g4 first, yeah, it's unrated at least, yeah, then bishop h4 is quicker. Because he can ignore you. After bishop h4, you take rook, he takes knight. Then you play bishop takes f2, he can move his king. I think he can just move it. Or he can take, maybe. Queen takes, yeah, okay, it might look very much the same. It might look very much the same. Oh, maybe he can play d4 now. What about d4 now? Because in our variation with bishop takes f2, if he plays d4, we play rook h1. And then king has to take, and then knight takes f2, and we win the queen. So let me just show you again that. So in this variation, if he plays d4 now, instead of bishop h4, if he plays d4, we can play rook h1 check. Okay, just so you guys understand. Whereas if we play knight g4 first, he could play d4, because there is nothing on f2 yet. Okay. So yeah, let's just quickly run forward again to this. Okay, next. Okay, immediate thought is there's something on d4. I really want to take something on d4 here. I also feel like maybe queen b6 looks fine as well. He's not threatening anything as such, but it feels like we should have a better move. So what if we play knight takes e3, king takes e3, but then there's just no follow-up, is there? There is no follow-up. I'm going to just refresh my chat, just in case. Any interesting moves here? I mean, queen b6 looks fine as well. Doesn't look like there's any reason we would not. And then of course, if he protects the pawn, we can just play maybe bishop takes e5. But he's gonna have to play queen d3 maybe. But then we pin it. Then we pin it with rook d8. So queen b6 looks logical. I don't see anything quick here. So queen b6. I mean, probably wrong. Yeah, apparently that's wrong. The other move was knight takes e3, which looked logical. Okay. Now, what now though? I mean, what is the crazy plan now? Just queen b6 after that, I guess. Because we don't have any other squares to go to. So, queen b6, and I mean, we didn't win anything. So puzzles like that are always hard, but I guess we are up a pawn. Just a note, we are up a pawn here. And the d4 pawn is weak. We're going to play rook d8. We're going to hammer that thing. Okay. Not the most impressive tactic ever, but anyway. So queen h4 here looks very, very tempting. Queen h5, I mean. There is also the idea of sacrificing, but that doesn't work. So what is wrong with the obvious queen h5? Is there any funky moves? He's gonna have to play h6, and then we take on f7, and we just win a lot of material. No? Yes? No? Maybe? Queen h5 looks logical. And knight takes f7. We can even play bishop takes f7 as well. Yeah, we could play bishop takes f7 as well. But I suspect knight takes f7 is just a better move. Yeah, knight takes f7. That move just runs into knight e6 check. Knight d6 check? Knight d6 check. Looks like a painful one to deal with. Come on, really? Oh, is there a mate? Maybe this is a mate. Okay, so they want us to do even better. So there, knight takes h6 check, opening up the h file. And then? What then? Knight goes back, check, king goes there, and queen h8 mate. Okay, so we could have mated. My bad. I wanted to win a queen. I like queens. Okay, next. Queen e6. There's something on c7 maybe as well. And c5 looks juicy. There we go. c5. Again, like I said, there has to be something on c7. Now, what now? Queen takes a5 maybe? I mean, queen takes a4 is a possibility. Because we have nothing else. b3 doesn't work anymore, so just queen takes a4 looks logical enough. Yeah, that's it. We just win a pawn, and now we're threatening knight takes c7 anyway as well. Which I guess there's no real good answer to, because of course his rook is just hanging on a8. So the bishop is pinned. Okay, next. Bishop takes. Feel like there's a sacrifice here somewhere. There. Ooh, I see. Maybe rook f8. Rook takes, queen takes, but there's checks. We have to be careful of the checks. Okay, so that doesn't help me. That doesn't help me, sir. Is there still anybody here? For now? I keep on looking at these f8, f6, f7 squares. Of course, my queen wants to come in. There is the obvious move of rook c1 as well. Aha, rook c1 because of the idea of rook c7 maybe. So is that simple enough? Rook c1? Queen takes b7 and we just take the rook. We just take the bishop, don't we? There's nothing to be stressed about here. Yeah, just take a piece. Okay, so apparently that was the easy option there. Okay, bishop takes f3. I feel like this queen should be trapped here. But apparently it's not. What if we just play king takes f3? Because his queen is trapped. Oh, maybe we just play queen takes. Sorry. In the end, then we just play queen takes, yeah. Because, of course, even if we swap off, we're just up a piece, yeah. So you had to lose a piece, yeah. That was a bit obvious. Here, there is knight takes, king takes, and f6. Yeah. So knight takes, king takes, and f6. Because there's no way for him to stop us from getting a pass pawn. Fairly simple pawn tactic. Here, rook takes check. Yeah, because of h8 mate. It's not mate yet, is it? Okay, but check. We can check again on h, and then go rook, but then he saves himself. So just bishop takes g6 check, winning the queen, unless there's a mate. I don't think there's a mate, so we just win the queen, which is more than enough here. Okay. Next. Pawn endgames. Gotta love them pawn endgames. Here we get an outside pass pawn, do we? If we take, he takes, we play h5. He takes, king goes there. There. Yeah, this should win, don't it? h5. Pawn takes. So it's a race. It's a race. We could come back. King, 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 king takes, takes, and then we come back, and we win the pawn, but maybe not. So king, 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 pawn, king. It's a check. So h6, and then king f3. Ah, apparently I'm wrong. Really? Do we have to come back the other way around? Maybe we just come back. No, let's just queen. There. Queen, king takes. King, pawn, king, pawn, king, pawn, king, pawn, king. No, we still don't queen first. No. King? So I'm thinking we just come back with a king. It seems like we will get there first to his pawn. So there. Nobody can come around. Okay, so king here and takes. Okay, well, I mean that didn't really tell us much. Still trying to calculate here. So king here, king takes, king. I don't know. I think this is a draw. What did I miss here? I mean, okay, so look at the variation of king g6, king d5, king takes pawn, maybe king e5 then. King comes here, king here, because when we attack his pawn, he can also attack our pawn. So how do we win that then? Do we get an extra tempo move? Okay, wait. So if king g6, maybe h7, takes king. No, it's still the same thing. Looks like a draw to me. Looks like a draw to me. Let me quickly I want to see, I haven't actually ever tried to do this quickly, just with the analysis board, just to see what the thing says. I hope it fits in. Let's just see what it does quickly. It should fit in okay into the screen. Okay, so after... Just want to see what the variation is that they look at here. Okay, scroll down. Yo, look at a lot of stuff here. Okay, sorry. Let me just go back. Athea. Yeah. And now what? King g6, king d5, pawn takes... Oh, okay, of course. King c4. Because that gains us an extra tempo. Okay. Fair enough then. I can close that, and we can continue on. How are we looking for time? Yeah, we still have a bit of time. Whew, pawn endgames. Not always the easiest thing ever to do. That looks terrible. We just take it, and we play rook c1. And we take the pawn, and we queen. Haha. We just queen. Thank you. Nice, quick, easy puzzle. Okay, let's just go back there real quick. So my instincts immediately is knowing that if I can take this pawn with the king being on c1, I know that I can queen the pawn without him being able to stop me. So the moves are fairly easy. This is just the decoy. Okay, we want the king on c1 so that we can be able to promote. So that's that one. Fairly easy. So queen b4 is a really bad blunder. There feels like there should be a trick here on e3. Feels like there should be a trick on e3 here. We do have discovered check ideas. So check. We play e5. Now the bishop is trapped, so it has to go... Yeah, it has to go takes, or knight takes. No, that doesn't work, because knight takes. I smell a rat, I smell a rat, I say. e5 looks very tempting, but if knight takes, then what? Then what? The bishop on b5 is hanging. That's one of the key things to note here. Is that the bishop on b5 is hanging. e5, knight takes, bishop takes. Maybe we just go queen check. Or bishop check, sorry. Or we just take the piece, I guess, huh? If he takes us in between, yeah, so e5 must work. Because we just take it. Sorry, in this, okay, if he knight takes, then we take it. If bishop takes, then we just take here. Sorry, that's what I was looking at. Stupid. Because now we just fork the bishop on b7 as well. So we just end up winning material. That was dumb. I thought it was going to take with a knight, because that was the more entertaining variation. So let me just show that again as well. So after e5, if he plays knight takes, and not bishop takes, if he plays knight takes, we just take the knight. Because then his bishop on b5 is hanging. Yeah. And then if he plays bishop takes d7, we can just play queen takes e3, rook takes e3, king takes e3, and then knight takes c2, winning the rook on a1 as well. Just in case anybody was wondering about that. So in this case, of course, we have this variation again. Let's just do it quickly. Go. Okay. Next puzzle. King f1. This looks a little bit stuck here. E3 looks very tempting. But if bishop takes, then what? If queen takes, then I guess just rook. No, we can't. Well, maybe we can. So e3 looks very tempting right off the bat. Because I want to block the queen from defending h3. And of course, if I can open up the file, then I'll be happy as well. So e3, e3 looks very, very tempting. There is an obvious move, just bishop e5. I mean, it's stupid, but it is an obvious move. We just win material. So maybe that is just the answer. Just winning material, because we're threatening to play, then after bishop takes, we can play queen h1 check and just win the other rooks. So bishop e5. And sometimes we don't have to look for the most complicated stuff ever. So that was simple, yeah. So bishop e5 is correct. That's immediately done. Position is done. Okay, I smell a mate here. I smell a mate here. There's no checks. We don't have to worry about that. Seems like we should be able to mate this guy here, but might not be that easy. Rook a3 looks possible, but I just don't see a follow-up. Oh, maybe b6 after that, and then rook a5 is mate. There's no way for him to check us. Take, so rook a5, rook takes pawn, b6. Yeah, that's mean. Rook a3. Just creating the net. And that doesn't help him either, because b6, king on, we still protect the pawn. So b6, and then we just play king c7. Yeah, he's going to have to sacrifice his rook, so whatever. Cool. Nice little quick mate there. So rook a3 just creates a mating net. Okay, we can see there's all kinds of freaking sacrifices on this one. This looks juicy to the max. Okay, so we could take the rook, but it looks a little slow. Or maybe not. So knight a3 also looks very, very nice because of queen b1 check and queen takes c2 check. Winning the rook on h2. So is there anything that he could play after knight a2? a3, I mean, sorry. Maybe defend with knight d4. No, but then he loses his queen. Okay, yeah. There's this queen idea as well. If the king goes to d2, we can play knight c4 check as well, which just wins the queen. So after knight, so I also play knight c1 if we check. That's the game plan now. But what about knight c4 here? Knight c4 looks very strong here. King d1, what a runner. We have a runner, people. We have a runner. Knight c4 looks very tempting. I'm just trying to see what happens after that. Because of course we have knight b2 check as well. Maybe queen check first. No, but then he can play knight. Then he can play queen c1 maybe. Maybe this is correct for him. So knight c4, where does the queen go? If the queen goes to... Yeah, knight c4 looks correct. Yeah, that's it. That is the correct move. Let's continue. It's two more. Queen h5. g6 looks very tempting. But do we have a mate is the question if we play g6. g6, queen takes f5. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. We could just win the pawn. No, we can't. See, at this point he has no checks. Well, I guess he does have queen e2 check. Maybe his outside pass pawns win. Maybe they don't. So the obvious move is queen check. g6 looks very tempting, but I don't think it works. I honestly do not think it works. Ah, okay. If we play queen d8 check, then we can push a pawn with check. So let's play queen d8 check. Surely we can just shove a pawn now. So g6 check. The king has to go to there. g6 check? Yeah. Okay. Well, they don't even let us go further. So if queen g7, then maybe just queen d4 check. If king g7, then queen d4 check. Because if we go to... Yeah, we got to be careful for him not to get to g5 with his king. So it's a little run around, but, you know. So yeah, queen d4 check. Because now we can't play king h6. Well, I guess he can. He can play king h6. Interesting. Oh, you know what could happen as well, maybe? If king g7, maybe we just play queen, what? Queen e7 check, king goes, we go, we take, 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 take. No, but then he can still stop as well. Interesting. Just trying to see if there is anything interesting. You know, what is our continuation? Because, I mean, a puzzle like this shouldn't stop just in the middle of the puzzle. Come on, I mean, really now. Like, this is not completely over yet. Or is it? I did like queen d4 check. If king h6, then... Hmm. Maybe just pawn up? So after king g7, queen e7 check, king h6, maybe g7. Threatening g8 knight mate. How you like that? And of course, you know, there's no checks for him immediately that'll win. Oh, maybe he can. Check, king goes there, check, that's mate. Okay, so very interesting position in the end. Okay, let's do one more. Wow, this looks like a discovered check somewhere. The question is just where do we go? Bishop g3, check. Just making sure that the king can't run out anywhere to e8 after e1. So yeah, that looks fairly logical. Okay, I guess the idea with his queen move is that he protects f4. So if we play bishop g3 check, he can still play knight. Knight f4. I mean, he's going to lose a lot of material, of course, but what is the material situation looking like after that? His queen, his knight's still trapped, so it still looks like the best option for us. Or could we play maybe bishop d4 check? No, it's not mate in 2. It's never mate in 2. Fangbo, it's never that easy. This is why, you know, at this level, when you're playing at the 2400 tactics, they don't make it that easy. So bishop d4 check, king has to go to e1, queen check, king goes, queen takes check, king goes, bishop f4 check, bishop f5 check, king goes to b3, and then knight c5 is a winning of the queen. So yeah, bishop d4 is the correct move. See, bishop g3 doesn't work because of knight f4. I mean, yeah, you win material, but he survives. That's the key. That is the trick. That is what they want you to see. That doesn't work, Fangbo. Doesn't work. Because he doesn't have to play just king g1. He can play knight f4. That's why he moved his queen to a4 to protect the knight on a4. Because now you can't play queen takes f4, because then he just plays queen takes f4 as well. So yeah, so that's why I dismissed the variation immediately of bishop g3. Because I realized that knight f4 stops all the mates. Where in this case here, he's going to have to play king d1, we play queen takes check, king c2, bishop f5 check, and now the king has to go to b3, and then knight c5 check wins the queen. That is the easiest way to win the game. Okay, cool. That's where we'll stop for today. In a little while, a couple of hours from now, I am going to start, 3 hours? That'll be in between the Chess TV shows. I will do the weekly roundup, where we'll have a quick look at the Grand Chess Tour, we'll have a look at the World Open that started this week, and we'll just have a quick look as well at one of the games that was played at the World Team Championships that was quite a fun one. Okay, thank you guys, I'll see you guys soon.